Hello everyone and welcome to Takagi-san 2 First Impressions episode 11. The name is awful, but I gotta admit it's starting to grow on me. So for those of you who missed the channel update, I now have a new audio setup. So let me know in the comments if you notice a difference between this episode and the last. So we begin with counting steps based on the manga's 80th chapter. The first thing that sticks out to me about this story is that Nishikata has seemingly adapted. I feel like we've seen it before where Nishikata has a perfect game, but Takagi changes the rules. So to see him prepare for that eventuality gives you a real sense of progress. Although of course he is still no match for Takagi. The story also gives us another insight into how Takagi always wins. If it looks like she is going to lose, she distracts Nishikata. Next we get fireworks. Normally I would deride a B-plot section like this for being so far removed from the main plot. But given that it brings Hibino into the realm of anime for the first time, I'll allow it. Following that we get Souvenir based on the manga chapter 60. This story is a good example of how the games these two play serve more purpose than mere entertainment. Nishikata wanted to give Takagi her souvenir right away because he was going to prank her with it. But he could have done that at any time. I believe, with absolutely no proof, that he also just generally missed her and wanted to see her again as soon as possible. The prank was just an excuse. It's also a good example of Takagi using their games to keep him comfortable around her. She likely knew how nervous and ready to bail Nishikata was, so she used her suspicions about the prank to not only keep him around, but to put him at ease. Do I even need to say that everything the showrunners added to this story is excellent? Do I even need to mention the excellence of the conversation they had at the shrine over sour biscuits and the sunset? Remember back in my episode 9 First Impressions when I said that the conflict for worries would add weight to a future story? Well, this story follows that up by having Takagi explicitly state that the fight she had with her mother was about whether or not she could be home for the summer festival. And this is all done to set up for, drumroll please, promises. Based on the long-awaited Chapter 28.5, the chapter I've been bugging on about since episode 8. Honestly, I could not have asked for a better adaptation. There are some minor differences from the source material, like Nishikata agreeing to help Takagi or leaving out the detail about Kimura being unable to swim, but I can get behind all that, given that it helps the story flow better and we've already seen Kimura at the pool. However, just like in the manga, Takagi comes to terms with the fact that Nishikata isn't going to ask her to the summer festival. He just isn't there yet. Or so she thought. Or so we all thought, as he said goodbye and rode his bike away, which did fool me. I did think they were going to drag this out for another episode and I was ready to throw my computer out the window. But he comes back. He asks her to the summer festival and it is treated like a second critical hit. Except with some key differences, one being that this one wasn't done by accident, Nishikata meant to say what he said this time, and second, he doesn't escape right away, he actually gets to see some of the aftermath of this critical hit. Now here's where things become a little unclear. The credits for this episode look a lot like the kind of credits you put on the last episode of a season, with the black background and the recap pictures. Now this is only episode 11 of what I have been told is a 12 episode season. But I can't actually find anything that confirms this, so there is a chance that this is the last episode of the series? I mean, I hope it's not, because they still need to pay off teasing adult Takagi in episode 7, and I just generally don't want the series to be over yet. I'm not ready. I just need one more week. So with all that confusion aside, this was a great episode, just like episode 11 from season 1. It was so much fun to watch, and if they do have one more episode to go, I cannot wait to see it. If you're interested in supporting this channel, why not support me on Patreon? Yeah, I'm back on that again. Check it out if you want. If you want to see previous videos, links are on screen now. Remember to suggest any season 2 stories for analysis, which will begin very soon. And as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.